Hello, freak bitches. Holy shit, you just land on ice?
Straight up blue ice. It wasn't that like a deep dark blue. Yeah, that's the Russian. So if you look in front of that aircraft, that's what it is.
What the fuck?
So that's the Russian plane, which that actually landed while we were there. I got a killer GoPro shot. That's the camp, third row down. The little yep, that's it right there. And that's basically what it looked like when we were there too. They had
now, is that camp set up for scientists? Like,
no. So there at the South Pole, there is a bunch of, from my understanding, like pure science going on there, funded by governments. This is straight up kind of tourism. I mean, you can go there and just hang out at camp. You can go see glaciers. Yeah, I mean, this is at one of the other. They have remote camps as well. They have like a crazy, like very high end camp. Like there's tents like that. Those are the tents we were staying in right there. That one that's hovering over there. Those are the kind of tents that we were staying in.
Whoa!
But it's on an ice field. There's no insects. There's no wildlife. The sun doesn't go down, and
how much food do they have up there?
As much as you could possibly want. They had a full like dining facility. The setup there is unbelievable. You can go in and get food anytime you want to. They're doing like they'll have a presentation every night. High end like National Geographic photographer. All sorts of crazy motherfuckers pass through there. Like, I'm just going to walk to the South Pole, and they'll come back in subsequent years and give talks on, you know, where they went and how they avoided these crevasses, which I had no fear of until I went to Antarctica and got the brief on crevasses, which is just, you're dead. They'll never find you again. And the camp is, of course, surrounded by them.
So how deep are they?
Hundreds of feet deep. Depending on the ones that you get into, it's just from the shifting and moving ice. And
sometimes people just fall into them?
I don't think... Oh, yeah, this is a guy who fell into one skiing. This is making its rounds on the old internet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so you can't even see the body. He stops himself. This guy self-arrests.
Oh, fuck.
But can you... I mean, like, who knows how much farther down that...
How did he get back out?
He might have self-rescued. Or he could have been...
Self-rescued is a terrible fucking phrase.
Yeah, but it's also actually pretty important to know how to do. Yeah. At all times, whatever it is that you are actually doing in your life.
Do those guys ski like that with an ice pick?
I don't think they ski with an ice pick, but I think, and I don't do this type of skiing, but you know, the bottoms of their poles are sharp as well. So depending on what they need to climb out of, they might have crampons in their backpack. I'm assuming that the person had like a full backcountry kit with them.
God, no, what do you do? Do you leave the skis behind? Do you drop them and try to save your ass? Or do you try to come up with the skis? Because if you don't have the skis, you're kind of fucked.
Well, if they're smart, they're going to have a GPS communicator of some kind. Yeah. Like in the modern era, if you go out into the backcountry of any kind and don't have the ability to communicate, you're a fucking idiot. Like the barriers to entry is a couple $100 and you can talk to people. Maybe only text, but you could hit a button and legitimately people will come get you. I would say it depends on the situation that you're in. I think priority should be self-rescue if you can.
Yep. He was able to get out using ice cleats and a piece of rope from his friends.
So he was smartly not out there by himself, so they probably saw him go in.
Jesus. He could have been done.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if he hadn't self-arrested and had gone down hundreds of more feet.
Broken his legs.
Oh, yeah.
Broken his neck, died like that. Instead, he lives another day.
Hard pass. I'm reasonable, Joe.
Gets right back on the skis.
So there's none of that going on in Antarctica, but we got this brief on, hey, we're getting ready to jump, and just so you know, like, here's the landing area, and everywhere else is crevasses. I'm like, oh, okay, so we should probably land in the landing area. But it was crazy. They had aircraft. They had.
And how do they know that a new crevasse isn't going to open up on the ice runway?
On the blue ice when they land the aircraft, I'm assuming they do surveys.
Oh, look, as they flattened it out.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, like, and that's legitimately
it. Do this every time it says.
Yeah.
Every 22 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, it involves 22 hours of grooming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they're just constantly doing it.
Yeah.
And they shut the camp down every year. So I just had a dinner with Mike and his son Tim in Salt Lake a few weeks ago. And then they're getting ready to head back out there, I think, in January. And they'll stay out for the season. That's probably the aircraft that we jumped out of Twin Otter.
So why do they shut it down every year?
The winter is just super gnarly, and it's the dark season. So instead of the sun never really going down, the sun never really goes up. So it's shitty to have people out there. Bro. So that's White Desert. That's a different place, but that's I believe that's on the other side of Antarctica. But similar concept.
The people that are there all the time, they must be weird.
I think it's a special kind of person that wants to make that their occupation.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, you think?
But the jump there was wild. I mean,
I bet.
I was
it looks
wearing
incredible.
I had a duffel bag. I'm not joking you, the size of this fucking table. because I had never jumped in Antarctica. So I'm Googling, like, what's your normal temperature? I had done that wingsuit jump up in Davis, where it was very cold at exit, but 100 degrees on the ground because it was Northern California in the summertime. So I took this duffel bag, and I on our first jump, I put on just about everything in that bag, and I think I might have been the closest to a heat casualty that I've ever been in my fucking life.
Really?
Because we were in a Twin Otter, which is a normal skydiving plane, and they had the door open the whole time. They actually took the door off, but we were kind of up forward. There wasn't a lot of wind coming in. I'm talking like electronic gloves, several layers, profusely sweating underneath.
Oh, no.
All the shit that I'm wearing.
Oh, that's horrible.
It was horrible because for those of you out there who don't know what happens to liquid when you jump out into a freezing environment, so you're sweating your ass off, jumping out into, it's probably in the negative 30s or 40s. Free fall, parachute, open up, and you're just like ripping off clothing in Antarctica. It was hilarious. We all overdressed for the first one, and I think most people were wearing 1 or 2 layers for the second jump that we did.
So when you got to the bottom, how cold is it?
10 degrees.
Oh, okay.
But sunny. Like I was wearing a pair of essentially snowboarding pants and a long sleeve t-shirt, not because I needed this is actually a video that I made of the camp.
So for underlayers, are you using synthetics or using merino? Like what do you, because it's very dangerous when you sweat like that and then get cold, right?
And that's the thing, like underneath that jacket is a t-shirt. And I'm wearing the long sleeve because I didn't want exposure to the sun. And that's what, like wrapping your face too. Like the sun down there will absolutely nuke you.
Really?
Yeah. It's so, and this is probably like, I don't know, this could be fucking 3 a.m. The sun just never goes down.
Why is it so powerful up there?
I think it might be, I mean, I'm not an expert on this by any stretch, but I think it might be the angle that it's coming in at. But yeah, it's by the end, it was wild. And so we went from there to Chile to Miami,